Yo, man, so freaky dicky Diddy, you cooked, my boy. You're too freaky for your own good. And you know you're too freaky because you get mad at people for trying to get away from you because you're too freaky. You get violent, you get aggressive, you get dangerous. But it look like you can't do that no more, man. I don't know why I'm addressing Diddy because he can't see this video. But nevertheless, how you doing, people, man? Let's get right to it. So the word of the day is consent, you feel me? And how that word is going to be interpreted will determine the outcome of Diddy's case. And it seems like the judge is already leaning in favor of the prosecutors as Diddy was denied a bail after the first battle in court today. Now, Diddy has been arrested for the freak-offs, essentially, and damn near every single thing that Cassie said in her lawsuit. But after overwhelming evidence, Diddy's team is admitting to these freak-offs. Okay, we did it. He was being extra freaky. He was being extra nasty. But everyone consented. We talked to the dudes, everyone like, it's cool. They wanted to do these things. And the only reason he chased and hit Cassie in the hotel room in the hallways is because she caught him cheating and hit him first. You know, we'll dive into more of that, the details of that later, but first, several things that came up in this bail hearing, we gotta talk about that, including Diddy's phone obviously being tapped, man. The feds monitored him doing damage control after former Danny Kane and Dirty Money member Don Richards filed a lawsuit against Diddy, causing him to react by contacting the other Dirty Money member, Kalina Harper, 54 times, and begging her to put out a statement, which she eventually did. But it looks like these people were already witnesses that were subpoenaed by a grand jury. I'll verify that shortly for you. Just hold tight, but we have a lot to get through, man. Let's get started. So like I told y'all before, a judge refused to grant bail to Sean Diddy Combs and ordered sent him to jail while he awaits the sex trafficking trial. Now here are his sons, Christian King Combs, Justin Dior Combs, and Quincy Brown, when they arrived at the Daniel Patrick Moynihan, Moynihan courthouse in New York, you feel me? So check out this uninterrupted by me. That's that right there, man. Let's keep it pushing. And y'all know 50 been paying close attention. He said, 50 Cent, here I am, keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore show, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house. If y'all been at work all day, y'all missed these details. They're crazy. In the meantime, the comment section like, Auntie, what you doing? Rick Ross' baby mama Tia Kemp saying Ross next and y'all ain't even know it. He too quiet. Well, yeah, bit back. Brother Love needs you. Why would you say that about your son's father? I know y'all had y'all's differences, but don't just throw him under the bus like that. Chill out. Unless he doing something for show, but I don't know. But hopefully my Miami folks ain't into this, man. Chill out, auntie. But let's keep it pushing. So some slight details from the indictment. I read it all today, but I just found the place that summarized it the best. Shout out to word for this right here. So it says, on numerous occasions from release in or about 2009 and continuing for years, Combs women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. Combs' violence was also not limited to these women. It extended to his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others. In arranging these freak-offs, Combs, with the members and of the Combs enterprise, transported commercial sex workers across the state lines and internationally. Freak-offs occurred regularly, sometimes lasting multiple days, and often involved multiple commercial sex workers. During freak-offs, Combs distributed a variety of controlled substances to victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant. Sometimes unbeknownst to the victims, Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers. After freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Combs maintained control over his victims through, and among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, and threatening to withhold financial support and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim's appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, supplying them with controlled substances. During and separate from freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, and threw objects at and dragged victims at times by their hair. These often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in freak-offs. Now, what's happening is the main victim, you don't even need really one, but the main victim they have is Cassie. So some of the stuff you're hearing, you already heard before, but when you hear it coming from an actual federal prosecutor, it hit a little harder because they've done their research and they've corroborated the stories with the video footage. I'm gonna talk about that later with y'all, but they have video footage of the freak-offs. They obtained them in the raids of Diddy's homes. They synced the shit. But let's keep it pushing. So Diddy was supposed to get arrested today. Today I'm filming this on a Tuesday. He was supposed to get arrested today, but somehow yesterday, Monday, or whatever day, they found pink powder in Diddy's hotel room. That tussie. That's what they called it, the tussie. Sean Combs had pink powder that may have been ecstasy in his hotel room when he was arrested yesterday, prosecutors say. AUSA, he had what appears to be narcotics found in his hotel last night, pink powder that have previously tested positive for ecstasy and other drugs. This is a Heartland detention case. His package is woefully inadequate if only focuses on flight risk. Now we're gonna get to more into that. This is actually from the bail hearing. We can talk about that. Hold on tight, this video is packed with a lot of information for y'all, dog. I got y'all with everything y'all need right here. Hit the like button because we getting through it, man. We getting to it, and I hope this entertaining because I'm gonna go all out with this one. I know it's a lot of information. I'm gonna try to keep y'all engaged. Let's go. Now before that bail hearing, Diddy's attorneys were talking that good talk, speaking about how they were gonna try to get that man released, but check this out right here.
Is that planned? No, it's not planned. Certainly, it's not planned by us. I mean, he came here to surrender at a time agreeable to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then they arrested him last night. I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life, and he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges. We know what the charges are going to be without seeing the indictment. It's going to be racketeering, it's going to be sex trafficking, it's going to be things along those lines. This is what we've been expecting since the searches in March. He, to his great credit, he voluntarily came to New York. Not a lot of defendants do that. He came to New York to basically engage the court system and start the case, and it'll start today. And he's going to plead not guilty, obviously. He's going to fight this with all of his energy and all of his might and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs.
Do you think he'll be released?
I'm going to fight like hell to get him released, and he should be released with all that he's done and coming here voluntarily. And guys, I'm going to cut it short because I have to go in. All right? So thank you all very much, and I'll keep you all posted.
One thing I hate about YouTube sometimes is I already told y'all the story. Y'all know he's not gonna get released. So I spoiled it for y'all with the title, but hey man, let's still get to how we got to that point though. So here goes a breakdown of the several federal charges and the possible sentences Diddy is facing. So 1, racketeering conspiracy, up to 20 years. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, mandatory minimum of 15 years, maximum life sentence. Transportation to engage in prostitution, up to 20 years. Kidnapping, up to life. Forced labor, up to 20 years. Obstruction of justice, up to 10 years. If convicted of all charges, Diddy could face multiple decades in prison, with some counts carrying the possibility of life in imprisonment. That's via the AP, all right? They proposed a bail package, and this is interesting because they were doing everything they could to posture because they knew this was coming. They knew it was inevitable. If you've been paying attention to the coverage of this whole situation, almost every damn lawyer told you that this was going to come. An indictment was going to come eventually. They seen the writings on the wall, they know the process, and they seen it coming. So Diddy's lawyers, of course, knew it was coming, and they tried their best to prepare him for this possible bail hearing to put himself in the best position so he could be free waiting the trial. So this is what they offer. So the defense proposes the following bail package. $50 million bond, co-signed by Sean Combs, his mother, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons. They're saying he paid off the rest of the mortgage, $18 million, so he can secure bond and be free of a mortgage. And essentially they saying that he gave up his a while ago. He gave up his because, you know, he ain't want no problems in April to show that, hey, if it came down to it, I'm not gonna run away. I will be here throughout the whole trial. I can't even travel. I ain't got my. And he also had to surrender of several other people in his family. It's like it's a lot of folks. I mean, from the mama all the way down to the little ones. Damn. So now we have the bail hearing. This is going to be a lot of reading, but we're going to make this entertaining as we got some things to get through, and y'all got to pay attention to what's being said. So the AUSA was saying he set up freak-offs, forcing sex and masturbation during it. He also filmed some of them. He stocked the room with narcotics so that female victims would continue for multiple days. The defendant committed other physical kidnapping and arson. He surrounded himself with and used firearms, including the 3 defaced AR-15s we seized, one in LA, 2 in Miami in his bedroom closet. The indictment charges robbery and obstruction of justice. Let me give an example. March 5, 2015 at the Intercontinental Hotel, disclosed in May of this year. The incident is critical. It is a recorded example of his use of force. All right. So to summarize right here, what they basically saying is, like, listen, this man will bribe people and he will beat people. In a situation where, you know, he beat her because she was trying to leave, and then a security guard was there and seen the situation and tried to help offer that security some money. The dude refused, but then he continued to go ahead and try to purchase the video camera footage of the situation. Now they saying this nigga Diddy's a liar, because when the situation first popped up, he said it didn't happen. But when the video hit the scene, he then admitted to it and apologized for it, saying it is clear you cannot believe him when he denied things. Make no mistake, March 5th is just one example. There are numerous. This freak-off activity is the core to this case. The risk of danger in this case is acute. It's acute. There has been spontaneous violence, so it is difficult to craft any conditions for release. It's this long-standing pattern of abuse, entirely undeterred. Witnesses we have interviewed have universally expressed fear. The defendant has contacted witnesses who received grand jury subpoenas. Remember what I was telling y'all earlier. He contacted at least one victim. This constant contact with witnesses. On September 10th, a week ago, Don Richard sued. Before a September 14th statement by Ms. Harper, the defendant called 54 times in one day. Some of the way in which the defendant contacts witnesses and victims are meant to evade, he uses the intermediaries. So they're referring to Don Richard, the former Danny Kane member and Dirty Money member. And then he called Kalina Harper, the other young lady, the group mate of Don Richard, Kalina Harper, 54 times. And then she eventually put out a statement saying, I don't recall none of the things that Diddy did, that she's saying he did, which, if you guys didn't know, you know, including abusing her and in front of some notable names in the industry. You know, artists that you nod your head and sing their songs to. They was there seeing being abused. She said, I don't remember none of them shits. But that was after Diddy called 54 times. So R. Kelly was detained. Jeffrey Epstein was detained on conduct going much further back in time. Keith Raniere detained on all 3 grounds, even though the violence was committed by others. His incentive to flee changed when he was arrested last night. The defendant is a wealthy man. It allows him to flee quickly and without detection. His counsel have taken steps to minimize the flight risk to set him up for the argument made today. Remember, I told y'all earlier he was posturing. But then his incentives were entirely different. He flew to New York 2 weeks ago. He had what appears to be narcotics found in his hotel last night. Pink powder, that have previously tested positive for ecstasy and other drugs. This is a Heartland detention case. His package is woefully inadequate. It only focuses on flight risk, okay? The government has spoken to over 50 witnesses. We have sworn out warrants for cloud accounts. The search have yielded 90 cell phones and 30 other devices, including a surveillance system. The freak-offs are corroborated. 300 grand jury subpoenas. The defendant poses a danger to these proceedings through obstruction. He should be detained pending trial. Diddy's lawyer comes to refute all those things and present his argument, all right? I'm gonna address the government's letter, but first, on September 5th, Mr. Combs flew to New York. We could tell an indictment was coming in the fall from our meetings with the prosecutor's chiefs. My client flew to New York. I told prosecutors I'd like him to have an opportunity to turn himself in. We got involved in this case in March 2024. We've been doing our own investigation. On March 13th, I reached out to my colleagues at the U.S. Attorney's Office and asked to meet. The November 2023 lawsuit seems connected. It got attention, and they read the papers. So if y'all been watching my channel, remember I told y'all, she's the reason. Her lawsuit is the driving force for this indictment. All right, let's keep reading. After the raids, we took Mr. Combs. Remember I told y'all that they talk about taking the and all these things, preparing him to be on point. Mr. Combs flew to New York to say, "You want me? I know you want me. Here he is." We were worried that he had an airplane. We said that we have to sell it. There's a financial management company that deals with these issues, and we're trying. Why are we trying to sell the plane? It's not our first rodeo. The same plane. The plane someone else is using. From LA to Teterboro tonight, just my luck, I wouldn't have the temerity to come here and ask for freedom if I didn't have the. He continued to say there was one victim in count 2, the sex trafficking charge. Mr. Combs wrote a very large check to someone he was in a relationship with for 10 years. People got a line for their checks. I had no idea. 12 victims? I didn't know. I'm happy there's only one. This case we think is eminently manageable. Pre-trial services says he has a criminal record, but he was acquitted. He's ready to do that again. What is Mr. Combs doing in New York? He's here for treatment and therapy. Mr. Combs is not a perfect person. These toxic relationships were mutual. Now he is trying to be better for the rest of his days. If there's one thing we've seen, we should stand with people who are trying to get the help they need. Somehow this hotel footage found its way out. I wonder how that happened. We didn't have it. The government had it. It got out. On the day Donald Trump didn't have any court proceedings, Mr. Combs saw it and issued an apology. He wanted to do it. 2 people were in a hotel room and issued that Mr. Combs had more than one girlfriend, okay? Victim 1 was looking through his phone and saw that, then hit him in the head with a cell phone and took his clothing. So he comes out in a towel. These 2 people were in love. Victim 1 ended up marrying the trainer that Mr. Combs got for her. They had been cheating on each other for years, but now she had 2 kids with the trainer. Years later, she realized she had a good thing with Mr. Combs. She has her lawyer call his lawyer and say, she has written a book, but if you want to buy the rights, you'll have the rights for $30 million. We have a recorded conversation. It did not go well for her and the lawyer. November 2023, she sued. When he contacts witnesses, it's not to stop a criminal investigation, it's to not be seen that one. Why is it depicted as a one-sided thing? There's 30 million reasons, $1 a piece. She said, I'm going to write a book, you can buy the rights. The Don Richard lawsuit and Miss Harper from the same band. The lawsuit says he did a couple of inappropriate things. Miss Harper said, that was not my experience. That is not intimidation, it's divergent recollections. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not even sure Don Richards is a witness in this case. My client hasn't done a darn thing. We have interviewed at least 6 of these males. We asked them, did it seem non-consensual? Anyone too drunk or too high? They all said no. Is it sex trafficking if everyone wants to be there? No. We don't want the federal government in our bedroom. The kidnapping? We spoke to the victim. She didn't use that word to us. One day it may be heard. Mr. Combs employs a security company. Mr. Combs has nothing to do with how guns are kept in his house. He needs security in the sections of LA and Miami he lives in. Did they do it wrong? Not for us to say. Not his gun. R. Kelly, that involved children. They cannot consent. Jeffrey Epstein, children. Keith Raniere, children. We have a substantial bail package. Some family members are here. They love them. The $50 million bond secured by a $48 million piece of property. On August 20th, we paid off the $18 million mortgage. One day we have a fair trial. We have substantial defenses to each of these charges. Mr. Combs is handling this head on. He's become a punching bag. He's built businesses from scratch. His father was killed when he was 2 years old and he earned all of it. So the rebuttal from AUSA Johnson. He says they have a critique for law enforcement, but he has not rebutted the presumption that the defendant should be detained. 3 days after the November 2023 lawsuit, the defendant is recorded saying he doesn't want to talk on the phone. It might be tapped. He used armed security with the face AR-15 stored in the defendant's personal closet? Absurd. For the record, we are proceeding on the theory of lack of consent, that she was coerced to participate in those sex acts. The judge says he would be a danger, would he, if he only engaged in these behaviors with consenting adults. AUSA says, we have the hallway video. Diddy's lawyer says this is a slippery slope. The government is going to say she was coerced. She had to say that to go for the $30 million. We have a serious bail package. I hope your honor can see that. Mr. Combs has done things to show that he is trustworthy. I'm gonna keep my eye on him on all that good stuff, and that's basically it, man. But lo and behold, bail was denied. He's gonna have to sit for trial. Okay, now I told y'all, consent is a big word. That's the word of the day. Word of the day. But when you got people like Gene Deal, who I'm like almost sure will be a witness to the situation in his trial, if he goes in front of that jury saying things like this, good Lord.
Guys don't put those pills that they get to the girls in the champagne bottles because they popping them in front of them. Most of those girls, especially if they like mixed drinks, you understand? They see the bottles when they open them. And they trying to keep their eyes on because they don't want to get no kind of drugs put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They didn't put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the E's, all whatever they put it in the juice. Now, those girls who like the mixed drinks, you understand what I'm saying? They're gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys, they learn that and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
And he has a lot more stories. Your bodyguard get on that stand saying like this, my boy. You can't talk about consent if y'all got plans to how y'all gonna drug these chicks. But man, let's get into the conversation surrounding the situation. These folks crazy as hell. Now we don't let the serious part, we get into the silly shit. Now folks are reacting to officials confiscating narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles during raids in March 2024. So now let's get to what the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said right here.
Part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Cases and cases. Ebro from Hot 97 and Apple says 1,000 bottles of anything in your house means you have a problem of some sort or you are running a business of some sort. The homie Waymo says prison is the only place for a nigga that need that much goddamn baby oil. Charlamagne says if Diddy gets indicted by the feds for racketeering or sex trafficking for what happened at his freak-off parties, then anyone on a sex tape seized from his home is probably going to jail with them. Let's play this audio real quick. You'll see a still image on the screen.
Yeah, racketeering and sex trafficking. If he gets racketeering and sex trafficking for freak-offs, it will be others involved.
Yes.
Like if you ever ran a train with Diddy, you're probably going to jail.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, that, you know, that's possibly on those cameras because he had cameras in the crib.
Man.
So people are thinking that maybe there'll be other people involved.
If you ever been butt naked,
cameras.
if you ever been butt naked anywhere with Diddy or half butt naked with Diddy, and there was some women around or some men around that he told you were part of the party, you probably going to jail.
Half butt naked is insane. All right.
If you possibly on any of those tapes, like Envy just said, that they seized from that house,
That's right.
you're probably going to jail.
Unless
when
they
start throwing
snitching.
that word racketeering around.
But we'll see what
Hell,
happens.
if you walked in a room and saw Diddy in there smashing Carl Winslow, allegedly.
What?
If Diddy flew Carl out, you might be going to jail.
Can we okay.
Why you gonna let Carl out there like that?
We going
Carl.
We'll be back with more, guys.
I'm just saying that racketeering ain't no joke.
Alright, so have y'all ever heard that Carl Winslow story? That shit is crazy. Let's see if we put that up real quick. The Carl Winslow story is insane. Carl Winslow did it, because y'all need to hear about that to understand what he's talking about. So y'all know Carl Winslow. This dude tells this story right here.
When Diddy fucked Carl Winslow, we was at the party, and you know, we just chilling and like that. And me,
messed up my childhood when he told me that.
Everybody know me, right?
Right.
I'm a goofy, I'm funny and stuff like that. So I hear just wearing out some. I'm like, huh? Like hearing that, I'm like, on 6-0, who's wearing this out? Right. Nigga, I kick in the door, poof, kick in the door. I seen Carl Winslow put his
Yeah, that's
head
the
up
father.
on
Ain't that the
Sick
father
Show, like-
from Family Matters?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, the dad. The dad.
Oh, the dad.
The dad.
The dad.
I swear to God, dead homies, neighborhood crib. So when I seen that,
Man.
and then
So who was piping Carl? Diddy?
yeah, Diddy was. So when I seen that, cuz right, Diddy came back and he was telling me, he was like, it's nothing more enjoyable than having a man do something for some money. I'm like, cuz that shit crazy.
Oh, nah, that's
See, like when
First of all, my boy, why you gotta bust? Why you want to see so bad when you hear some moaning sound? Like, for me, that'd have been traumatizing. But you put that trauma on yourself, my boy. That'd have been traumatizing for me. But why you so damn curious? Why you so curious, my boy? Nevertheless, that's a crazy story, but let's keep it pushing. So they say Diddy, when they show him the showers.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
They say Diddy the type to be in jail and slam the soap on the floor. This how that Diddy documentary gonna start.
One of Satan's greatest soldiers.
Jail ain't enough for Diddy if we being honest.
Hang that now. I got the rope right here.
They say this is how I pictured the Diddy supply. That's a lot of baby oil. Now it's more than that. It's more than that. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. Cash is when Diddy walked in the local CVS.
Hey Mia, you better hide your baby oil. Hey Mia, you better hide your baby oil.
Diddy when he's showered with other in jail. Diddy in the prison showers watching a dude trying to pick up his slippery bar of soap.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
Oh,
scrambling
right
and
here.
scraping.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I'll be practicing.
Why you even got that in your vocabulary? Why you talking like that, bro? How are you even able as a man to talk to another man like that and not feel like you gotta pause yourself permanently? Like, bro, nah, he's too comfortable with that lingo. He too comfortable speaking to another man that way.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
No, we don't talk to men that way.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
You sound like trying to seduce him. Look at these two. Like, what's up with this? Everything I heard is true. What they saying that at the beginning of Euphoria? Everything they say about me is true. Like, yes.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and I like that.
He trying to see his reaction. He can't even look at this nigga in his face no more. You see Jada just turning Nori like, is you gonna let this try to seduce you like this? Is you gonna let this grown man trying to flirt with you like this? The man who's known for telling people to take that? What do you mean by that? What is that? I don't want none of that. What do you?
I like when you like this, Daddy.
No, don't like it.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping. I like that.
Nori said, no.
I like that. I like that.
Man, Diddy one of them aggressive gays. He's an aggressive gay. Oh, they say this how niggas gonna be grabbing the soap now that Diddy's lurking. That nigga got that bitch high and tight. High and tight, no fumbles. Keep it high and tight, my boy. Keep it high and tight. Alright. They say, fool, Diddy said. That's a lot of baby oil. That's a lot of baby oil, man. What you need that much baby oil for, bro? What you need that much baby oil for, bro? I ain't never in my life knew to use no type of lube. Ladies, do y'all use lube like that? Because to me, it sounds like a lot of gay sex going on. And if that's what he like, that's what he like. That's what he like, that's what he like. But interesting to say the least. That's his life. So Wayno, y'all remember Wayno. He says going to the feds for being too freaky is insane. This dude responds saying freaky is a lifestyle that is built on consent. Diddy is a predator because he ignores consent and reacts violently when someone tries to communicate it. Hope that helps. I appreciate that explanation. That helped me a lot. Okay. All right. So Diddy not going down alone. He finna be naming names like this.
Donna, Lynn, Pat, Lori, Shelly, Aaliyah, Rose, Brian, Darren, and Ulysses. Donna,
Hell
Lynn,
nah.
Pat.
Rest in peace, Whitney. Look at Babyface with this. Niggas don't start locks like this no more. Babyface is in the phase of knowing that he getting older but still trying to look like a young nigga at the same damn time. I got about like 10 more years before I hit that phase. This lady said, my mom just sent me a voice text asking what a freak off is because all her young staff is talking about it. Diddy, you will pay for your crimes for real today on this day because what the f do I tell her? Alright, man, listen, this was a long video. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. If I have some more shit, if I have some more stories, I got y'all. Just make sure y'all subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and listen, y'all want these long, in-depth breakdowns because I'm gonna give it to y'all in the most entertaining way possible because I know that a lot of stuff is boring. I'm gonna get you right. Smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and if you're new to the channel, you gotta subscribe. Other than that, it's your turn. Let me know what you gotta say in the comment section below. I'm going to get up out of here though. This is another update with Stace. Yo.